Okay, folks, so now that we are post-debate out after a week, or actually more than a week as you're watching this, it's time to really dig the dirt on what we really saw during the debate, because I'm pretty sure it's familiar to a lot of people that there was already a corporate bias to one particular candidate. We already kind of knew this. We already saw it happen the last time that Donald Trump ran in 2016. CNN sided with Hillary Clinton and coerced into giving questions to the campaign before the debate, and in that alleged incident there that has now been confirmed, ABC News posed side to Kamala Harris, as you're seeing here. So the stats are in from MRC TV saying that David Muir's ABC newscast was 100% positive of Kamala Harris and 93% negative towards Trump. Analysis of the debate there. And there's even further to this. Like I said, it's no stranger to people when they watch presidential debates that stuff like this would happen. So this is being reported that screenshots of alleged affidavit of ABC News whistleblower revealed, accusing the moderators of rigging the debate. Like I said, no stranger to that. No stranger if you've ever witnessed any debates since they took it away from the League of Women Voters over to the political parties themselves and corporatized and made this big giant production show. It's common knowledge that they're going to be biased. And in the case of having Donald Trump as the opponent, it's very, very obvious. They weren't subtle about it. Let's just say that. When you watch the debate, and I saw the debate and live tweeted throughout the thing, it almost looked like David Muir was the prom date to Kamala Harris, like trying to defend her against the other jock of Donald Trump. Like, that's what I felt witnessing that. So, journalist Kyle Becker, a former Fox News producer, reposted screenshots of a document on X claiming to be an alleged affidavit signed by a whistleblower ABC employee. According to the images seen below, shared by Becker and several other online reporters and Trump supporters, the whistleblower is accusing Kamala Harris' campaign of instructing the ABC News moderators to ask and avoid certain questions. And there was an agreement that they would fact check only Donald Trump, but not Kamala Harris. So here's the allegations that they're proposing on this. Kamala Harris allegedly received sample or similar questions in advance of the debate. The Harris administration allegedly prevented ABC from questioning Joe Biden's health. They reportedly blocked inquiries into allegations against Kamala Harris's brother-in-law, accused of embezzling billions in taxpayer money. Which I think isn't he like the guy ahead of Uber? Isn't that he's like the top guy of Uber, and Uber's getting screwed over because they changed the policies that now threw the drivers on the bus? Is that the same guy? I don't know. You can fact check that on. The whistleblower claims to have several secret recordings providing the Harris administration preserved moderators to fact check Trump. ABC was allegedly instructed on which questions to avoid during the debate with Kamala Harris. According to Becker's post, the ABC News whistleblower swears under penalty of perjury that the Kamala Harris campaign dictated the terms of the questions during the presidential debate. Furthermore, the Harris campaign insisted upon live fact-checking of Donald Trump during the debate. ABC News fact-checked Trump at least 5 times and did not fact-check Kamala Harris once, despite the Democratic candidate telling provable lies such as the Fine People hoax and the bloodbath hoax, which are easily debunked. Easily debunked. The bloodbath hoax, if you listen to the whole context, Donald Trump was mentioning about the economy. It was going to be a bloodbath, which is an economical term, not violent. It has nothing to do with violence. It has to do with economics. And the Fine People hoax, that was debunked by Snopes, for God's sakes. That was debunked by a insider Democratic establishment. They even debunked that. So what does that tell you? The whistleblower signed the affidavit in New York and has sent a copy to Mike Johnson to notarize the document statements. The unnamed individual states that he or she is in possession of secret recordings that will prove that ABC rigged the presidential debate. Now, in all due fairness, ABC News, owned by Disney. Disney is always going to root for the princess. So, are we surprised? Are we surprised that they're going to back, the next hopefully female president as they envisioned, even though she's going to be exactly like every single moderate General Mill warmongering piece of garbage politician that you have dealt with time and time again? Is it really surprising? They have a bit of favoritism at Disney. And let it be known that Disney is a huge DNC donor, especially Bob Iger, the president. So here's the documents here. And you can see here, I blank, being duly sworn to hereby make the following statement under penalty of perjury. My name is blank. I reside at Manhattan, New York. I have worked at ABC News for over 10 years in various technical and administration positions. Since the acquisition of ABC News in 1996, so I'm assuming that's when Disney took over. Disney took over and bought ABC News because they wrote the Telecom Communications Act around that time, which allowed the monopolization of corporate media. So now you understand why, if you flip through the channels, it all kind of sounds the same. It all kind of just sounds the exact same. There's no real differential. Even Fox News, as they claim it as a big giant right wing conspiracy channel, it really doesn't sound at all that different to what you hear on MSNBC or CNN or the New York Times, the Washington Post, because they're all bought to you by the billionaire class. They're all monopolized together thanks to Bill Clinton and the Telecom Communications Act. I have observed significant transformations in the nature of news reporting at the organization. These changes suggest a shift from unbiased reporting to a model influenced by external factors. For the record, I do not endorse Donald Trump in his capacity as candidate for president of the United States. The intent of the affidavit is to address concerns regarding perceived biases within news reporting within my employer's debate that will be hosted on September 10th, 2024. Furthermore, the Harris campaign imposed restrictions on the scope of following questions. No questions regarding the perceived health of President Joe Biden. No inquiries related to the tenure as Attorney General in San Francisco. No questions concerning her brother-in-law, Tony West, who faces allegations of embezzling billions of dollars in taxpayer funds and who may be involved in her administration if elected. Because, you get the best criminals when working in politics. Internal organizational climate. I have observed a pronounced bias against Donald Trump within ABC News. Employees expressing favorable views towards him experience significant concerns about political reputation. Purpose and documentation of the affidavit. This affidavit is executed to document and providing transparency. Okay, so that's him getting the legal stuff out of the way. Going to Mike Johnson, yada, yada, yada. So at the bottom there, additionally, for further investigation, I have secretly recorded several conversations that will prove that the Harris campaign insisted upon the only fact-checking of Donald Trump, but also insisted on what questions were not to be asked under any circumstances, or else the Harris campaign would decline to participate in the debate. Guys, don't you know it's not cool to gang up on a girl from the supposed hood of San Francisco or Oakland, wherever she's from? Don't you know that? Don't you know that? I've been saying forever to let Kamala Harris fall flat on her face herself. And clearly, the debate had to be rigged. Clearly, because you've seen her in public, you've seen her publicly speak. It's not the greatest. So obviously there was some sort of leverage there. And considering David Muir was basically her Superman, trying to save her from the big, ugly game show host from questions and insights, it's again, this doesn't surprise me. This doesn't surprise me. The thing that does surprise me, though, is that people are actually doubling down and defending how ABC News wasn't being biased towards Kamala Harris. Wasn't biased. There's people doubling down saying that this never happened, that this is all conspiracy. Yeah, it's a conspiracy that people conspired to rig the presidential debate. Unbelievable. People are twist themselves in a pretzel to defend this. Even though it's right in front of them. You could cut the bias with a knife. So, because ABC News got caught with this, and now they have to circle around and actually respond to these allegations, respond to the whistleblower employee, that anything, if you've seen anything like the whistleblowers at Boeing, he better watch his back, just saying. So now David Muir goes on to Kelly and Mark, I should say. I can't keep track of daytime shows anymore. Goes on to a morning talk show to defend his moderation during the presidential debate. And this was just after the allegations came out, the affidavit came out. This whistleblower for ABC News admitted that ABC News and the Kamala Harris administration collude together to rig the debate in her favor against Donald Trump. Which, again, if you look at 2016, it's not out of the normal, unfortunately. But it's very, very obvious because it's Donald Trump. And here's what he had to say about this.
I have to congratulate you. You moderated the presidential debate last week, and more than 70 million people tuned in for that. Yeah. That is massive. Now, a lot of, I can't believe we got you here. I really appreciate it.
I'm sure you've been asked to do a lot of interviews.
A lot of interviews.
I said only Kelly and Mark. No, honestly, I will say this about the debate. You guys know me better than anyone. You know, I basically disappeared for the end of the summer because of the weight of this debate. You take it seriously, Lindsay and I, and this extraordinary small team we have at ABC. And we spent a lot of time, and I believe...
He disappeared for a long while because of the weight of the presidential debate. Yeah, he does look exhausted, dressing, you know, almost like a rugged news reporter. I love the casual look. He's got the suit jacket on, he's got the t-shirt, but then he's also in jeans and the work boots. Very interesting look.
I believe it was our duty to ask the issues that Americans care about. You know, the economy. Are we better off than we were 4 years ago? Immigration. What are you going to do about the border? Why did you wait so long before you acted on the border? Those types of questions. Reproductive rights. Afghanistan. Do you bear any responsibility? Peaceful transfer of power with the next election coming. You know, these are all really important issues. The issues of our time, really. And I always say as a moderator.
So he's trying to defend himself, saying, like, we asked the right questions. We were concerned about the past of Kamala Harris. We were also concerned about that, as we were concerned about Trump, and we were trying to be fair. We were openly asking questions. But again, if you saw the debate, you know that's complete crap. You know that they skewed it in a way to make it to make more attacks on Donald Trump than it was on Kamala Harris. They didn't fact check her record. In fact, they covered a lot of the bad stuff that Kamala Harris has done. They did that purposely. It was very, very obvious. And now the word's getting out. Now ABC News and David Muir, Kamala Harris's prom date that was very defensive. It's like Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing. No one puts Kamala in the corner. She does that to herself. Has to make the rounds to defend the fact that, oh, no, we weren't biased. We were very open. It was the fact that Donald Trump lost to Kamala Harris. She's just such a great commentator. She's such a great debater, such a great public speaker. If only we had more proof of it. So there's more to this.
You know, what the candidates decide to do with that time, you can ask the questions, but they'll answer with whatever they choose to answer with.
That's right.
And you have to be ready for whatever might come your way, even the most unexpected of moments. As you all know, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And I will say this, all of the noise that you hear.
You have to be prepared with whatever they respond with. You mean like how when Donald Trump mentioned about cats and dogs being eaten in Springfield, Ohio, which that's not the point of the story, but he mentioned that. He brought it to attention. And all of a sudden, David Muir, before Donald Trump could mention that, before that even became part of the national discussion, somehow was able to fact check that in Springfield, Ohio. I called up the mayor and we can recount that that never happened. Well, how would you know that didn't happen if no one brought it to attention? How is that possible? Did David Muir have a time traveling? Did David Muir have a? Oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. The car from Back to the Future. Did David Muir have a DeLorean to go back in time to respond to Donald Trump's assertion that people were eating cats and dogs? How is that possible? How is that possible?
Afterward about, you know, which candidate won the debate, did the moderators win or lose? That's just noise.
Yeah.
You all know that. The most important thing to remember is that you all have the power. Everybody at home has the power to go.
So, again, he's trying to cover up the fact that words got out about him, words got out about the network. It's very obvious, even outside the debate. You know exactly where they sit on the sidelines, where exactly they're putting their pennies towards. And the debate really proved that. The debate really proved the biasy against Donald Trump. And again, it's no different than any corporate media stream, because corporate media has this kind of personal vendetta against Trump because Trump is a wild card. They can't control him like any other politician. They can do it with Harris, they can do it with Clinton, they can do it with anybody else. But somehow this game show host, who everyone loved back in the day, everybody loved him, got to be the president. And they got so angry with that they'd done everything, 9 ways to Sunday, to take down him, take down his campaign, take down his supporters, take down anybody. Because God forbid someone actually is coloring outside the lines of the deep state. Not much. Let's just say that. Not much that is coloring outside the lines. Because Donald Trump governed no differently than any other real politician, other than the fact that he mentioned about Syria. He mentioned about why we have troops over there. He's the now he's campaigning on having no taxes on tips. That Kamala Harris stole his idea because Kamala Harris wasn't running on anything. And I don't think she still isn't running on anything. She's running on joy. Vote for joy. I don't know how much joyful people can get when they can't afford food, when they can't afford to gas up their cars to get to work on time, when their jobs are being jeopardized. I don't know how much joyful we can get right now. But there you go. ABC News really showing its true colors, really showing its pure intention. At the debate, it was very obvious, and now we have groundbreaking truth by a whistleblower of the network openly stating that there definitely was collusion. And people are still doing the mental gymnastics to try to hide this away. Trying to hide the fact that, no, they were definitely on point, and Kamala Harris is just an absolute greatest speaker of all time and lost to and the game show host lost. Because anything to vilify Trump, anything they will do to vilify Trump, even if it's the most absurd thing possible.